Salut tout le monde, I am Reva, your French tutor, and welcome to Language Fluent. In today's video, we will be looking at se présenter, that is, introducing yourselves, the very basic sentences that you need to introduce yourself when you're dealing with a French speaking person or when you're in a French speaking country and you need to introduce yourself. So this is a very basic inclusion of all the sentences that we need to introduce our basic selves. Voila. Okay, so introducing yourself is said by a reflexive verb which is se présenter, which is to present yourself or to introduce yourself. So remember this, se présenter means to introduce yourself or to introduce oneself. So when we speak of introducing ourselves, some basic points that I have jotted down that we include in our introduction, which is of course our name. Then what do we do? It may be our profession, or if we are a student, we tell them we are a student, or if we are working somewhere, whether we are an entrepreneur, etc. Then we have a country of origin and where do we stay. So for example, I come from India and I stay in Pune, hypothetically. And another important thing is what all languages do we speak. So these four points that I have included in this basic introduction in French are again name, profession, country of origin plus current location of stay, and the languages that you speak. Voila. So the first one, of course, the very easiest sentence that you will need everywhere when you speak to a French native is je m'appelle. So je m'appelle, my name is. Now it includes two names, so prénom and nom de famille. So like we say name and surname, over here nom or nom de famille means surname. Okay guys, let me reiterate this, do not get confused with nom or nom de famille, it means surname, and prénom is always your first name. So je m'appelle, prénom plus nom de famille. It can be anything. So for example, so to give you an example, je m'appelle Reva Zoshi. So Reva becomes my prénom and nom de famille is Zoshi, which is my surname. So je m'appelle Reva Zoshi is my first introduction. Okay, then moving on, second point was profession. So there are multiple options to this, but I have included some three basic options that we can usually, which can come to our aid whenever we are talking to someone. First of all is je suis étudiante à l'école. So I am a student, I'm a school student, for example, or I am a student. If you don't want to use school student, you can just say je suis étudiante. So I am a student. Étudiant is masculine, and if you add a e to it, it becomes étudiante, which is feminine. So je suis étudiante, I am a student. Then we have je suis entrepreneur. I'm sure everyone knows this word. Entrepreneur is a businessman. So it's a French word originally, and it's pronounced as entrepreneur. So je suis entrepreneur. So I am an entrepreneur. And third option can be je travaille chez Tire. So je travaille chez quelqu'un. So I work at Siemens, or I work at TCS, I work at so and so office. So when I want to say je travaille, so I am doing a job over here basically. So I work at so and so place. So the sentence is je travaille chez Tire, name of the place. So je travaille chez dash. So again, I'll reiterate the three options that we have while expressing our profession. Je suis étudiante, je suis entrepreneur, and je travaille chez dash, tire, quelqu'un. Voilà, c'est ça. So we looked at je m'appelle and je suis étudiante, or je suis entrepreneur, or je travaille chez quelqu'un. Then we have our country that we come from. So whenever you're meeting someone outside, you always tell that where are you from, the country of origin. So I say I come from India. So the first sentence, as you can see over is je viens de Tire. So I come from India. So je viens de Inde. So in this case, you're saying that I come from Inde. So vient de is come from. So je viens de Tire, whichever country or place or city that you're coming from. So for example, if I am coming from Pune, I'm going to say je viens de Pune. Simple. Then you have j'habite à. So I stay currently in the place. Now I have given here a because I am assuming in this particular case that you are expressing the name of your city. So whenever you are expressing the name of the city that you live in, you always use the preposition a. So j'habite means I live at, the preposition at or in, and in Pune or in Delhi. So j'habite à Delhi. So if I want to use a country, the preposition is going to change, everyone, because according to the gender of the country, the preposition is either o or on or os. So it's not going to be a for sure. So only when you use cities, any city. So j'habite à Paris, simple. So hence I have given you the example of a, assuming that in this case we will be expressing the name of the city. So je viens de Tiré, j'habite à Tiré. C'est ça. Then, je parle anglais et un peu de français. So I am expressing over here the languages that I speak. So je parle is I speak. Then anglais means English and un peu de français, so a little bit of French. So je parle anglais et un peu de français. So I can include any language in this, like je parle anglais et un peu de français et donc un peu de espagnol. So whichever language that I speak, I can just include it. Je parle anglais, Hindi, français, etc. So this is just an example of a sentence that you can use roughly, and you can always make permutation combinations in it. So what all did we see? The name, then the profession, then the place of stay and the place of origin, and the languages that we speak. So 4 important points that I have included in this. So the verbs that you will specifically need are parler, so je parle, whatever languages. Then we need je viens de, so venir, so where do you come from. Then you need habiter, which means to stay, where do you stay. Habiter means to stay. Then être, because I am a student or I am an entrepreneur, so être is important. Then you need je travaille, so I work, so wherever do you work, so travailler is important. And of course appeler, so s'appeler, actually it's a reflexive verb, so je m'appelle is very 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 important. So guys, this was the video which gives you an idea of how to introduce yourself using some basic French phrases and just speak about yourself. And it was only an introductory session. There are a lot of more things that we can include in this, but it can definitely come to your help whenever if you are clueless and you want to just learn some basic sentences to introduce yourself in French. So présenter. I hope this video was useful to you, and if you want such more basic videos on French vocabulary and grammar, stay tuned and follow our channel Language Fluent. A bientôt in my next video. See you all soon. Au revoir.